Things are really picking up for Fragpunk. Not only is the console release dropping on April 29th, but Bad Guitar Studios also just announced the $150,000 Fragpunk Esports Tournament happening in China this year. With 7 regions in play, 8 teams will head to China to battle it out for the first ever international Fragpunk LAN with a $150,000 prize pool. But while Fragpunk is definitely esports ready, are the players? Are the teams? This video is everything you need to know about Fragpunk. You read the title. You know what this video is about. As we know, Fragpunk launched alongside a super robust rank system, and with all the players fighting it out to maintain the rank of Punk Master, this level of competition had to lead to esports eventually. If you're new here, my name is Artie, and I not only casted the TenZ vs Shroud Twitch Rivals event, a recap of which you can watch right here, but I also casted the most recent Fragpunk tournament, the Fragpunk Hub Brawl, a community tournament hosted by Fragpunk Hub and EGL. I cast and cover a lot more stuff too, so if you're into competitive multiplayer and esports, a subscribe would benefit the both of us. But during both Twitch Rivals and the Hub Brawl event, I noticed that even though there are pro esports players from other titles and absolute demon level ranked grinders in play in these tournaments, there's still a ton of room for improvement on a team level and even on the mechanical level, which makes for a very exciting backdrop when we start to think about the level of competition that we're going to see for a $150,000 international tournament. Alright, but enough yapping, here is all the info that you need to know. Last weekend on April 12th, we got word that Fragpunk is about to take its biggest step forward yet, and I don't think that people realize how important this moment is. We are finally getting the game's first official international tournament, and it's happening this summer, featuring 8 teams from 7 different regions who will all be battling it out on LAN in China. And if that already sounds sick to you, just wait until you hear how it's structured. The regions that are invited to this first tournament are China, the US, Germany, France, Brazil, Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, and Russia. Each region will run regional qualifiers in May to determine who gets the honor of repping their side of the world. The format's actually super interesting. Following a traditional open bracket, each region will then have its own grand finals event, where a team captain will host the final showdown and crown the squad that'll go on to the main stage in China. And here's where it gets extra real for me. In the US, TenZ is stepping in as the team captain, and who knows, maybe you'll see me casting alongside him for the American Grand Finals on May 9th. And remember, unlike Twitch Rivals, this is more than just a fun little show match. This is a real competition to decide who represents Team USA at Fragpunk's first international LAN. So if you're a fan of TenZ, Fragpunk, me, or even just want to see how the competition stacks up, do not miss that broadcast. Other regions are bringing out their own heavy hitters too. France is being repped by Fugu, Germany's got TrilluXe, Brazil's rolling in with Tck10, and Russia's squad will be hosted by Recrent. These are creators and players with serious roots in their local scenes, and each of them will be team captains, following near identical formats to the one here in the US until a singular team takes first in each region to qualify for the 150K China LAN. Now for China and Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, it's going to be slightly different. Instead of team captains, they're going full traditional esports mode, where actual orgs and local teams will be competing directly for their shot at the LAN, which makes a ton of sense considering the fact that China has already been doing a phenomenal job at treating Fragpunk like a real esport from the very beginning. And with how strong that local infrastructure is, that level of structure might give the Chinese teams a bit of an edge, which is going to make the competition even more interesting. All in all, this is huge. Fragpunk has had a crazy fast ramp up to this point, and this is the kind of event that starts to put it on the map for more than just the hardcore fans. Not just as a fun new FPS, but as an actual legitimate esport. So whether you're in it for the gameplay, the personalities of the new streamers and competitors coming into the scene, or the future of competitive FPS, this is something to mark your calendars for. Now let's talk about Fragpunk ranked and competitive, and why it's not as easy as picking the top 5 ranked players from each region. Like I said before, there's still a ton of room for improvement on a team level. When I casted the Fragpunk Hub Brawl event over the weekend, there were a lot of times when these pro players would often forget what card was in play, forget to make simple callouts, or just straight up underestimate their opponents. And this all makes sense when you remember that even though all 10 of the players in the lobby are Master or Punk Master, a tournament still has way different vibes when compared to ranked. And in fact, we got to interview the team captain of the winning team Last Chance, and he had some pretty good insight.
It wasn't the easiest victory. We saw 2 6-4s, a 6-3 loss, and then a landslide victory. You were on the back foot. What was the one thing that got you to push yourself to get that victory in the first map?
Well, honestly, we've played quite a bit with each other. I mean, Apier hasn't played as much with the other guys because we had to switch someone out of our team. But other than that, like, we've played with each other for so long, we're pretty used to being either on close games or sometimes, you know, behind. So honestly, for us, it's not a problem. Even when we're behind, we're super comfortable. We don't tilt. We know what to do, and we just keep going.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say is that while we were watching this, it kind of felt to us like there was a lot of times where good boys would invest a ton of points into some shard cards, and then it felt like they weren't playing with them in mind. But for you guys, it always felt like you were making adjustments based on the cards. And I kind of want to ask, how much of your brain presence is kind of going towards what cards are in play at any given time? Do you forget about it sometimes? Is it important to you? Or how do you feel like the cards have been affecting your games?
It's actually what makes Fragpunk so fun, because every round is gonna be played differently based off of cards. Some rounds, you understand that you can kind of save and wait for better cards, because the cards won't pop up again on that same half. So it is quite hard at the start, especially when you're only learning the cards as well. For new players, it can be a bit overwhelming, but just taking it slow will be really good. Yeah, you have to keep reminding yourself, and I think what helps sometimes when there's important cards, you just tell your teammates, like, you remind them, so everyone understands, like, this is the card we're playing around, or as well as that, what cards you have to play against is super important too.
For tournaments, for ranked, like the state of the game, I know that there's been a lot of talks about the utility pistols. What's your thoughts on all that?
Personally, I think there should be a tiny bit of weapon balancing, both for secondaries and for primaries. Primaries mainly high life. I think the high life is a bit oppressive currently, where it's really hard to play against the sniper because it's hard to bait out the shot and be able to do anything off of it. And in certain occasions, it's also hard to refrag a high life. Yeah. So if someone's like really good with the high life, it's a super strong weapon. For secondaries, in tournaments, I think you should get 1 secondary per round, because right now it's 2 per half. So if you die and you lose 2 pistols, you have no pistols left yourself. You have to ask from your teammates, or they might have none left as well. So I think 1 per round would be really good. And for ranked, I think it should be maybe 2 per round, but it shouldn't be, you know, you're able to drop 6 pistols in 1 round because you got a super strong card.
Alrighty, well, hey, Lifnix, thank you so much. And for the entire LC squad, congratulations on your hard-earned win. You guys definitely deserve it. And we hope to see you at future Fragpunk Hub tournaments.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for hosting everything as well. And thank you for everyone watching.
Not only do we get this starting in May, but we also get a console release in just a few more weeks. Fragpunk might have lost a little bit of its steam after launch, but it is full speed ahead diving into Season 1, Chapter 2. And of course, with that, we'll also be seeing some pretty big balance changes with the new season update, alongside a new Lancer launch and the introduction of some new shard cards. So we'll just have to wait and see how these shake up the meta, and how those who want to be on the path to pro will be able to handle them. But with that all said, are you hyped for what's to come? With Season 1, Chapter 2, and the console release and the beginning of Fragpunk Esports, there's a ton of motion happening with this game, and I think that we could see a big resurgence on the horizon. But I want to hear your thoughts. Is this a huge breath of life back into the game for you? Are you more excited to see Fragpunk Esports, or all the new additions that are coming with Season 1.5? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and don't worry, you'll see me around.